Mentioning that you had the chance to watch Jesse Fuller perform, and I just wonder about your impressions about it. And
Yeah, well, I was pretty much of a late teenager. I was living in London, and I'm pretty sure I'd just been drafted. Did 2 years in the Air Force there, and there was a concert. I was already listening to country and western from Americans bringing records around. My sister had an American boyfriend, and there was a concert of Jesse Fuller. I didn't really know who he was or much about him. And I went to this concert. It was in London. I don't actually know where it was. And I was sitting there at the completely empty stage, no lighting or anything like that. And this little guy comes out of the side carrying this, first of all, this huge thing wheeled out. Nobody knew what it was. And then he came out with a hi-hat, set up a little hi-hat, and sat down on a stool with a 12-string and a fairly smallish amplifier, and he started to sing song, and a harmonica. He had a harmonica as well, and it was like a one-man band, which you know all about, Dave. So he started in. I don't actually remember much about the songs, but I remember being absolutely amazed at the spirit and the feeling of the blues that he did. He was like bashing away at the 12-string, hammering away with his left foot on the hi-hat, and this amazing sound from this thing that I later found out was called a fardella. And so he sang a show, and everybody loved it. Everybody liked it. They clapped him. And he said a few things in between songs, but I couldn't understand a word of it because he was speaking, you could call it American Negro or whatever, He said, "Hey, now I'm going to do this," and so on and so forth. And it was so cool that I thought, I wish I could. And I'd just been doing the three chords. I'd just been learning my trade, as it were, with the three chords. And I wanted to play like him. I wanted to be like him. And it was my influences at the time were Big Bill Brunsey. Again, it was an LP from somewhere. To get back to Jesse, though, at one point during the performance, some smoke started to come out of this small amplifier, and in those days it was pretty dodgy stuff, electric. A lot of people were like getting blown up and electrocuted and stuff, trying out these amplifiers with electric guitars. I hadn't even got an electric guitar yet, and so this smoke came out, and everybody was like, "Ooh!" And he just stopped completely in the middle of this song. I forget which one it was, and he just said, "Don't worry about it, we'll just carry on." And he just sort of messed around and bashed around with the amp for a couple of minutes. And then the next thing you know, he just carried on as if nothing had happened, and the smoke died down. The one memory I do have of it, I was saying before I didn't remember the songs, was one song, San Francisco Bay Blues, which pretty much from then on, throughout my whole career as on and off performer in bands, solos, and so on and so forth, right down to now today, down here at the Harborside, has been my opening tune. I always play San Francisco Blues to warm up my fingers, because for me they were very difficult chords, and to get a good swinging song going for the folks. And so that's my story, really, about or his story, the way he influenced an old guy with the most incredible setup, playing with the greatest feeling of blues that I've ever felt live, who inspired a young kid to go for that kind of stuff.
Right.
I got the blues from my baby, left me by the San Francisco Bay. Well, the ocean liner, she gone so far away. Well, I didn't mean to treat her so bad. She was the best girl I ever had. When she said goodbye, the lighter made me cry. I wanna lay down and die. Well, I haven't got a nickel and I ain't got a lousy dime. Well, if she don't come back, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Well, if she ever comes back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. Or walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Well, I'm sitting down looking through my back door, wondering which way to go. The woman I'm so crazy about, she don't want me no more. I think I'm gonna take me a freight train, 'cause I'm feeling blue. I'm gonna ride all the way meanwhile in another city, just about to go insane. Sounds like I hit my baby the way she used to call my name. Well, if she ever comes back to stay, it's gonna be another brand new day. I'm walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Hey, I got the blues from my baby, left me by the San Francisco Bay. Hey, 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 walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay. Hey, hey, I'm walking with my baby down by the San Francisco Bay.
All right, Ian.
Thanks, folks.
Wow, that's great. Okay. Well, I got you. I'll just ask if what about any other one-man bands over the years? Have you seen any others? Or
I haven't seen in all my busking days, like early busking days, like late 50s, early 60s in Europe. I never did see a one-man band.
what about later on?
And later on, I can't remember seeing a one-man band.
So I'm the next one you've seen?
The next one I saw was you, and it was down here. I was on, and here's one for you. I came to visit my brother in Victoria here, and he said, "You've got to hear this guy." We came out here one evening, and I listened to you, and I was like astounded, amazed, and aghast, and the whole bit. You know, it was really fantastic stuff. And I'm not saying you were responsible. I think Victoria, you being part of Victoria, the scene in Victoria, and the idea that you could busk and not get arrested. In fact, you could actually you could do your own songs, and like it was encouraged as an art form. I went home, packed my bags, and I moved to Victoria. So, on the one hand, that was a part of it, and it's been ever since, because I've been busking down here for about 3 years now, and having the time of my life. Because it's like, to me, it's like getting back to when I started busking about 50 years ago, standing on the street with a guitar and no equipment or nothing, and I went through the rock bands and the singer-songwriter and the 60s and the golden years and so on and so forth, and here I am back doing what I did before, so it's great to be here.
Right. Okay, well, thanks, Ian, that's great.
It's my pleasure, yeah.